Hello guys, you're dealing with JRTV here. I want to look into this whole interesting scenario. We have quite a collection of women running for state offices, and I think it's a good thing, as long as they're skilled and experienced in the areas that they're applying for. And so I just want to discuss another lady. I want to be your voice, why it's cool. Just want to discuss why this might be, and is it like an ideal society? What's ideal in the world? I also have a few new revelations to share. So, it's a police department. So, what I'll look at is, first of all, most violent criminals are men. Most conflicts are a result of men. And so I really have this feeling that there really should be a law that has us at kind of a balance, where the balance of not only genders but ethnicity should be allowed in the government, as long as they're competent. Like if there's a lot of women running, if let's say there's 100 men and 100 women running. If those 100 men are all competent, but only 50 of those women are competent, and let's say there's 100 positions, then does that mean that, well, no, let's say there's only 25 women competent out of the 100 women, and there's 100 positions in all, so you'd have to take 75 men and then 25 women to fill all those positions, because there was only 25 competent women, for example. But let's say there's enough, and then of course the racial element too. I just dislike the idea of racism, and think there should be laws to encourage against it, but not so much so that you have people that are not skilled in the area. And of course there'll have to be some new laws and specifications and details written into to accommodate what I'm describing. It's kind of it's an issue, but that's that. And then I have these other interesting ideas. One of them being, I think people's sex organs kind of maintain their attractiveness, but the rest of the body, like for example, the one's facial lips, they lose their attraction. But that's just a positive thing, in that it's more important to provide oral pleasure. I think it's actually a fundamental aspect of a relationship. It's kind of more intimate than intercourse, if you will. I don't know. I just want to spark that idea of that, and then I have these other ideas surrounding the little things that make you think you like somebody. Like, for example, saying that, oh, my heart says so, or my feelings say so. Like, feelings can be misleading because people can be seductive. And you're thinking, well, why do I feel so nice around this person? Well, maybe they're being seductive, and it's not a bad thing to be seductive. It's only bad if it's not your wife or your husband. And then of course all these terms that are used, like even terms like wife, husband, partner, relationship. It just really vague. That's why I use the term dreammate. Or non-dreammate. Non-dreammate is a way to classify people as well. But the point being that, like, in a perfect world, I don't know, would women have more feminine energy? Whatever it is, I'm glad that these women are running, and I just think there should be a balance in the government of women. And I don't like to use the term minorities because, you know, it's like we're all, that implies like better or lesser. I just use the term like there's a variety of people, and one argument that's made is that against this idea that you know, it's like they call it anti-racism or anti-privilege, where they say that, well, whichever culture, and it's really not about the race of the person, it's really about the culture and what culture is perpetuated. And there are dominant cultures, and that's not a bad thing. It's just a group kind of maintaining and encouraging itself. So you know, I think we can all kind of be considerate and honor one another's culture. Just be more universal, be more global oriented. This is all where we're going already. But just to make a conscious choice of doing that, and try to find common ground. Like, and you know, there are a lot of times there's arguments, like they say, okay, we agree to disagree, and then don't continue the argument. You know, just say, well, I'm sure there's something else we could find common interest in. You know, it's about topics. It's about topics, different topics. But yeah, what I will say is, like I said, back to the issue of like this whole idea of it's like they say that, oh, it's love, but it's really not love, it's lust at first sight. There's no such thing as love as at first sight. And so in order to transcend that and not let your feelings or other people's feelings, or just thinking that you control your life, or just thinking that, oh, since it's coincidental or it feels right, that's not science. It's not the science of love. I explain the science of love, chakra activation, self-control, self-respect. I explain all of that stuff on my other videos and everything. But yeah, I just wanted to just put it out there, my ideas on the politics there, and then also my my sort of revelations about, you know, all these mistakes people make in thinking that they like each other, but they really do not. You know, thinking that, oh, just because we have some common... The only thing that keeps people together is common goals and values. And values are, you know, and goals are unique things, dreams. They're unique things, and you can't... The biggest mistake people make is hoping somebody likes you, wishing somebody likes you, want them to like you. What needs to be done instead is there needs to be an absolute, like I have this idea that people can create this profile online, a dating profile, and whenever there's a question that comes up of, oh, who are you, what are you, or you know, might have interest in a person, you direct them to that profile and say, this is who I am, scientifically, technically, and you can state on that profile, you can say, my husband is da-da-da. My wife is da-da-da. For example, she likes to read philosophy, or she likes certain type of music, or she likes certain type of food, or certain type of recreational activities, or this or that. You know, the point is to identify what you absolutely want and absolutely don't want in your life. Like, I don't like pets, so I'm going to say my wife does not like pets. But the point is you're making it an absolute. It's like, this is the reality, and it's not a wishing or wanting or, oh man, I hope they like me. Like, the point is, it's a preference. Rather, it's that you would rather, okay, watch this. It's that you would rather be with nobody than be with your non-dream mate and pretend that it's love and pretend you want to give. And it's no half-hearted, like partially giving your passion, partially giving your... What else would you potentially give? your energy, your soul. Don't give that partially. Don't like partially like just want to have intercourse and then, you know, it's when all that stuff is unplanned, like you don't talk it out. That's why the magic of internet dating, it gets away from the idea of, oh, love at first sight. Oh, you want to that first, like that's not science. And love has to be scientific and planned out and thought about, and you know, read Men Are from Mars, Women Are from Venus. Read, you know, examine this stuff just like you prepare for the jobs or different things, and that way you can be successful in having a life partnership. And not there's nothing worse than being with the wrong person when you might like, and then the right person walks by. Like, you got to imagine that this person exists, number one. Number two, that you'd rather be with no one than this person. You know, that this person exists. Like, imagine this person. Just imagine them for a moment. Imagine like somebody with the qualities you like, physical and mental and spiritual. Imagine that, and imagine how good you would feel being around with them, and not having to pretend, not having to worry about. There's this competing energy of, well, does somebody make more money? Does somebody, you know, is more healthy? Is somebody in an accident? Does somebody just lose their job? That type of stuff doesn't enter into the equation or of concern when people are truly in love. And the idea of love is, you know, you can't love a person, you can only love their dreams. I'll conclude on that. Thank you guys, and aloha.